Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn how to encrypt, that is hash our password, because if you see in our database this password is visible for everyone. We need to hash it in some way. So bcrypt JS is a npm library. It's a famous library. If you can see weekly download, it's having more than 1.5 million. So this is one of the famous library by which you can hash your password and protect your password from seeing others. So this is a official npm js website. In this you can just type bcrypt.js and you will find that, or else you can just go with this command npm I bcrypt.js. So first we'll install this. So we need to install this in backend because we are writing in authentication like auth control, right? So auth control is nothing but that is in backend. So if I minimize this front end, so controller is in backend. Here only we are checking here only we are checking password, email, then we are storing it in our database, right? So before storing it we need to hash that password. So this is a backend console. Here what I need to do is install that package. So npm I bcrypt.js. So let's install this. Meanwhile it installs, we'll just go through what this library is and how to use it. So what you need is you need to just install it by using this command. Then you need to import this, and what you need to do is after that, this is the most important thing. If you can see here, to hash any password, these are the steps. First we need to generate salt, then we need to hash with the help of salt. So this is the general documentation you can find in this website. So don't worry, I'll explain you what is this salt and how to hash it in a few steps. So let's see whether the installation is done. Yeah, installation is done. Now we'll again restart our server. So nodemon server, and once the database is successfully connected, then we'll start importing bcrypt. So you can see MongoDB database has connected successfully. So what I'll do here is, first of all, I'll import bcrypt. Before using it, we need to import it. So I'll import with this name. So bcrypt equal to require bcrypt.js. Then we'll first check in a register, because unless or until you hash the password in your registered database, then only you can log in with that password, right? So first we'll hash that. Here let's check our code. First it's check whether user exists or not. So yeah, if user is exists, then we'll say the user is already registered, or we are going to register here, right? So before saving here, what we need to do is, here we need to generate salt. So here salt is nothing but a random string. It can be any random string. It won't have any kind of meaning, some xyz yz, that kind of a random string. So that how I'll generate is, I need to just give a one variable, any variable you can give any name, const salt equal to await, because this is going to be a synchronous function because it generates some random string, right? So with this random string only we are going to encrypt our password. So both this random string are original password, they both will be going through some kind of algorithm. It mixes and gives out some random string. So I'll show you the final output, how the password we are getting it after hashing with this salt. So await, then we are going to use this library bcrypt.gensalt. So gensalt is the method by which you can generate salt. So after that, the parameters it takes is, you can give any number of parameters, like if you give 20 or 30, the number of digit like integer you give, that number of unique string or random string it will generate. So using 20 or using 50 is a more randomized text you will get. So for this tutorial I'll just go with 10. You can give your any number. So with the help of this salt round, that is 10, it will generate me a some kind of a random string. So now the salt is generated. Now what we need to do is, as I've said, with the help of this salt we are going to hash our password. So we need to hash our password here. So I'll have const hashed password equal to, here also we'll write a wait because we are working with this library, right? So it takes some time, so that's why I'm going to have this asynchronous method bcrypt dot hash. So hash is a method. So here the first parameter it takes is the password which user enters. So this is a variable, right? Because we are entering, we are requiring it using this variable password. It's a request dot body, and the second parameter is the salt which we have generated. This salt variable is salt, right? So we need to use. So now what this hash method does is it takes both our user entered password and our salt, and it encrypts with some kind of algorithm, and it generates a hashed password. Now we are going to store this hashed password in our database. So we need to change this line, because now what it does is it simply saves our required request dot body, which is our user name, email and password. But this is not the password which we want to store in our database. We need to store our hashed password. So for that I'm going to change our object. So what I'll do here is const, first of all we'll comment this, because I'm going to save this like have this variable as new entry. So const new entry is equal to await user dot create. So you can simply create, or you can also have the object and then you can have this kind of step. So I'll simply have a create, and in this object what I'll have is user is a user only, because we are having no changes there. And next it will be email also we are storing it as it is. And the next one we are storing password as a hashed password. So whatever the hashed password you are having, that will be stored in a password variable in database. So we can ignore this new entry like saving, because the create itself will create. And here also we can remove, and then we'll save. And once the we get all successful messages, we'll try registering again. So if you see our database, this is the already registered thing we have done. We are going to register with a new credentials like not registered, and I'll go with some kind of a name, like I'll just giving this a random register as a name, and email address register at the gmail.com, and the password will be, I'll give the same password so that you will find the difference what is the storing in the database. So I'll give the QWERTY at the rate 1234, and the same password here as well. So QWERTY at the rate of 1234. So if I click on submit, so it says the user is registered, email and all that. We should actually need to comment this also, because when registering you no need to show here in the console log. It will again give you a vulnerability check. So that's in register.js 21st line. So we are going to comment that one as well. So 21st line, okay. This is just for test purpose we have gave while developing, but once the a project is done and into the production, you need to remove this console log things. So let's check our database whether the object is created or not. So I'm going to refresh, and now you can see the password, it's no more QWERTY at the rate 1234. It's just a randomized text included your password. That is the algorithm which we are using with the help of bcrypt library.